Your girl creates. I can't even get my name right. I can't even do it too over because I'm live. This happens though sometimes. It is Cree 21 Boom coming back at y'all with Relationship Talk Part 7. Oh my God, I am on the road this week. This is my second show. If y'all know me, y'all know I'm an impromptu type of person. But actually, I tried to schedule this one today for you guys because we have some interesting topics that we're gonna talk about. I got my girl here with me right beside me, my road dog. My other one is over here too. You can't see it because she don't do the camera. You know how some pretty girls are. They don't get in the camera. So I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves and we're going to get started because I know I can't keep them too long. So because we're on the time constraint, we're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling. We'll start with this one right here. I'll let her introduce herself and then we'll go along with the guys. So let's get it, girl.
I'm Ashley, everyone.
That's all you want them to know about you?
Yeah.
Hello, Ashley, everyone.
If you ask a question, I may answer
it. All right, P, go ahead.
My name is P. I'm with PM with the PM Lifestyle Podcast. You can catch me on YouTube at the PM Lifestyle Podcast and everything else. Falon McKnight. Here with Cree. We back.
Thank you for joining, Falon. I appreciate it.
Oh, for sure.
And Slim.
Hey, what's up? I'm Slim. I ain't got no podcast. I just like to talk.
And we like to listen sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. I thank you, all of you guys for joining me today. If y'all watching the show, y'all already know y'all can ask questions, y'all can have comments. We'll address them. We'll talk about it. Today, I have a few things I wanted to talk about. If my guests have anything, y'all be sure to put it out there so we can talk about it. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, because it's been an ongoing topic and I just wanted to address it and just get a good understanding of where everybody comes from. So the first thing is, do you think that a male and a female should both have a say so in whether or not we keep a child or not, that we conceive together? So as a man, you give me your male perspective, and then Ashley and I will give our female perspective. Whoever wants to go first absolutely can go first, but I'll chime in first and say that I believe it takes two to have a baby. I think two should be responsible for said baby. I think if one don't want the baby and the baby was conceived without protection, I think you both are responsible for taking care of said baby, whether you want to or not. Because as a responsible adult, you have to be responsible, and that is your job to govern your own body, nobody else's. So you have to take care of the seed once it's here.
Let me go ahead and tell you mine before you give your male perspective. I believe what Cree said, absolutely. But I also believe that if one does not want to have the child, the other one needs to prepare to be that single parent fully on them, because you're not going to get that help that you're looking for. Don't say, oh, if it was the female, he's a deadbeat baby daddy, when he never wanted to be a daddy in the first place. Things happen. Everything is not always expected. We need to be prepared as women to have that child alone, to take care of that child on our own. And unfortunately, that's the honest truth.
I believe the same thing. I believe that both agree, take care of the one, child, have, intercourse, whatever, that both should be able to pay for, take care of the child. But if one disagrees, whether it's the mother or the dad, and they don't want to be involved in the child's life, then that person should take sole responsibility and not look for help from the other side. I don't care if you came into it or not, because you at some point had to make an agreement to keep the child, whether one wanted to keep it or not. If you need to take the bulk of that responsibility, then go ahead, do it. Because at the end of the day, if both follow the rules of being married like you should be, it wouldn't even be even a question. You both will be in a relationship anyway to take care of the child.
Okay, so I have to chime in on that one. Did you say if both people were married? What happened? What was that you said? I need to hear that correctly.
If you're doing it the correct way in the first place, if you were in a married relationship, you wouldn't abort baby in the first place. It's something that you're looking to do because you are married. So it wouldn't even be an option of to have the child or raise a child separate. You're gonna do it together anyway. But in today's society, we tend to meet people at different locations, might not even know this person, and then we choose to have a child, and then you're not compatible, whatever the case may be. Now another person is wanting to have a child, and another person is not. So if we do it right in the first place, you wouldn't even have that to even be a question of raising a child. That's the whole purpose, is to get married and bear children.
All right, we'll get back to that. All right, what's your thoughts on that, Slim?
I agree with both with all y'all. So it takes two to make a baby. Now it's different circumstances that come out with the different outcomes. Of course, you know, female body, maybe she can't bear kids like that. Maybe it's a conversation need to be had, but all it boils down to is a conversation. So a conversation should be had. Not one person should be able to say, "I'm going to keep it. I'm going to get rid of it." When I say that one person, I mean the woman shouldn't be able just to be able to say. I mean, it's her body, right? But I think it still should be a conversation between her and the dude. So
So even with said conversation, and he says I don't want it, he still shouldn't pay child support because
no,
he laid down there unprotected. I don't think that gives him an out just
you're
because
right.
he says I don't want the kid. You shouldn't have an out because of that. That's ridiculous to
You're
me.
correct. So, but a guy, and I mean, some guys do, some guys don't. But look at the. I mean, I guess we're going off of the Anthony Edwards situation, the Ant Man situation. So, what if a guy just pays up front like he did, right? A regular guy like me pay up front, pay the $400,000 up front for regular child support, and then I don't want to be in the kid's life.
Well, at the end of the day,
You
you
know,
can't nobody
so is
make
that
you be a part
so?
of your child's life anyway.
You
So
said
if you
what?
make that choice, can nobody make you be a father? Nobody can make you be a part of your kid's life. No way. The
Yeah,
courts can't make
but
you.
if
The
you
courts
let
can't even make you do that.
if you let women talk about it, when most women will say that they put the man on child support so they can be in the kid's life because then the man gets his weekends and blah blah blah. Now, what he does with that, and then the women get so upset. Oh, he don't even want to be in this kid's life, but he didn't want to be in the kid's life in the first place. You're trying to make him be in that kid's life when you should just
We should
like
just what?
like, like y'all said, just prepare to take care of the baby solo by
Be a
yourself
single
anyway.
parent.
Gotta be a single parent.
It's just so sad.
It is.
How can we fix that? Y'all, do y'all know a remedy? Because I can tell women to keep their legs closed all day, and they're not gonna listen to me because they want it just as
I
much as
mean,
men do.
they got protection, right? They got birth control for women. They got condoms for men. They got protection. They got Plan Bs. They got stuff out there to prevent it. You don't
Mm.
got to tell nobody anything. It's already been written.
Hey, widow. He said, "What up,
So,
y'all?"
Biz, and even in the Anthony Edwards situation, he even tried to pay. She backdoored him and made it seem like she was aborting the child, and she didn't. And then turned around and kept that 100,000, and tried to have the kid, and still
Correct.
forced him in life he don't want to be there in the first place.
So that already makes it look like she had an ulterior motive, which everybody
Yeah.
think she was after money. But then she's screaming, "No, I'm not after no money." But why'd you keep the $100,000 that he gave you? You should have said no from the jump. He could have kept that $100,000 and knew you was having this baby.
Yeah,
Well, your actions gonna show your motive anyway. So
Correct.
people say whatever they want to, but the actions really tell the whole story. And I do think that women, especially women who put kids on men, uh, put children on men and know they're not the father, and having them raising the kid that they know is not his, or they know they've been sleeping around. I think, and the same ones that accuse people of rape and don't, I think they should be prosecuted. I think they should
Correct.
be fined and taken to jail. But a lot of people don't, and especially men, like don't like want to follow up, go to court, take a woman to court, like for whatever reason. But I think if it was more of that happening, that it'd be less women doing that.
Correct. You're correct. I think that
Especially
a
if the
woman.
courts hold them
I think
accountable.
that a man that finds out that his kid is not his kid, whether it's 2 years old, whether it's 18 years old, I think that woman should have to pay that man back that money.
I agree with
Agreed.
that wholeheartedly. I believe she should get some jail time. Them some detrimental lies.
I mean,
For real.
she should get the
Devastating.
same as they do.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Because I want to ask y'all now, like, what do y'all think are some potential emotional and psychological impacts on men when they say no in those type of decisions and the women keep the baby? Like, have y'all ever experienced that?
Saying, well, you say you don't want the baby and the woman keeps the
Yeah.
baby. No.
no,
Well, that's
never had
good.
that experience.
That's good because I know some guys who raise kids. I know a guy who was raising a daughter, and I was doing her hair, and I was saying, the way this child got black in her, the way her hair was like static. And years later, after divorce, he found out it wasn't his kid,
At it.
but he was like, "It is my daughter because I've been raising her from
So
birth."
because of
So
the
he's
attachment
still
part.
raising her, but like I'm like, man, you need to take her to court. Like she owe you a whole shitload. But he was like, I'm not doing that. It ain't worth it. I believe this my kid, even though she's not biologically his kid. He raised her, so she's his kid. But I'm like, man, y'all better than me because I want all my money back. You better give me all my coins. She can still be your kid, but mama need to be held responsible. But the problem with women doing stuff like that is they don't be held accountable by the courts, by police, by nobody. It's like they just get away with it, which is why they keep doing it. Just saying. Y'all got anything else on that?
Even on the flip side, just to add to that, like you'll have some dads come in and be the stepdad or take on the role, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you call in the catch-22. She can say, okay, well now we're about to have a kid, and I have a 2-year-old, and I want you to treat this 2-year-old as if it's your kid or whatever, and they're in a serious relationship. When it's time to depart, now you also losing contact with your biological child and this other child. So sometimes most people don't even want to get connected in that because you're looked at as not claiming the child or treating him as your own when it's up to her standards. And then when you guys separate, all of a sudden you don't see this child or your child. Now you've taken on that role, and then both of the kids are snatched from you, and you built a connection with this child, and it's not working out for you. So even in that situation, it's bad for you too.
Have
That'd
you
be a way to go.
experienced that? That's why I wanted to
Yeah.
talk about like the emotional and psychological part that it does on a
Mhm.
man. I can't speak to it because I'm not a man, obviously. But if y'all like know men who've experienced it or dealt with it, like if y'all could share anything like what it does. So maybe some women out here listening that thinking about doing that to a man, she'll think twice. You know what I mean?
Well, I've experienced both sides because, like I talked to you yesterday, like I have custody
Mm-hmm.
of my sons that are in the house with me. I have two sons here, but I've been on the part where I pay child support, and then on this side right here where I'm supposed to receive child support. So I've been on both sides of everything. Um, And so when you and this is I'm from Texas, so everything was through Texas. So every state is different. Like some states are for the woman, some states are for the man, some states are just neutral and for the child, right? It's supposed to be child support is supposed to be set up for the child, but we know living in Texas, it's about Texas. Reason why Texas doesn't have a state income taxes because a state taxes because of them getting money from everything else. It's child support, speeding tickets, whatever. So the child support system in Texas is set up for the best. Is supposed to be the best interest of the child, right? So the
Right.
best interest of the child is to leave the father and go with the mother. That's the best interest of the child. All that's off top. Before anything else comes in play, this is what the state of Texas says. The best interest of of the child is to leave with the mother because the mother had the child. Basically saying that the mother is more attached to the child. But in my case, my kids were more attached to me in the household.
I was
So
gonna say I think it's on the
so,
individual.
so they say that I've always said that the child support system is so old, right? Because it hasn't been revamped since it became a system. So is there some people out there, men and women, that need to be the book thrown at them, and they need deadbeat parents that need to be have under child support law? Of course. But then when you get guys like me who have the baby, I take care of the baby myself. If you don't want to be in the kid's life because I love my kids. I did it right. I'm accountable for my actions. I take care of my kids, right? Why can't
Mhm.
the laws be different? Why can't they be 50-50 when nobody pays nobody child support, right? Especially if we both live in the same area. If I live down the street from the school, you live down the street from the school, why do they take the kid out of the household that I built and I only get to see him every other weekend? What does that forget what it does to the child? What does that do to the dad or the mom,
Well,
whatever other party is doing it to, right?
well, well, splitting up the family in itself is can't be the best interest of the kid unless it's a toxic environment that the kid is
Correct.
growing up in. So you're gonna always have my support on that because I would never want the family
and,
to
and,
break
and
up
this is
anyway.
just this is solely speaking from a good household. Like We didn't make it
Right.
not because of the kid, but just because we're not a good fit. It's better we being apart than together, but we do have this child together. What you want to do with this child? And I believe, and this is me speaking for myself and people that I know like me. Most of my friends are single dads. Donovan being one of them too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that most of the time, if women don't put the dude on child support, they get more out of the dude than putting him on child support. You get
Mm-hmm.
more time, you get more money, because I'm going to be a father regardless. But I'm paying $1,400 a month for a child, right? And then I still got to give him birthday gifts. I still got to pay his insurance. I still got to do stuff with him for the summer. That's outside of the $1,400 that I'm giving to this to his mom, right? Oh, why you didn't get him none? Why you didn't bring nothing over for his birthday party? What you do with that $1,400 I gave you? But you can't say that because the woman's gonna flip out.
Yeah, right. So that wasn't my experience, right? I hear your experience because I had to do this with Donovan. When he tell me his experience, I can't relate because it's not my experience.
Right,
My experience was I have to call hunt my baby daddy down, like, hey, you still coming to get your son like you said you was, and da da da. So my experience was child support helped me because he wasn't helping me.
correct.
You know what I mean? Like, and like you said, if he was doing what he had to do, child support wouldn't even be a factor for me. But because he wasn't doing it, I had to hunt him down. And my son, he raised my son to like 2, and then he started going ghost when we didn't work out and got divorced. And now I'm like, because my son knows him, like he want to go with his dad. He want to, his dad ain't answering the phone. I gotta hunt him down and all this and that because the look on my son's face of disappointment just doesn't work for me. So I did what I had to do, and he hated being on child support, although I didn't really get a lot, but he started becoming more in his life. And then, like I told him, child support is not needed if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And so for some women, that's the case. The man is not doing what they're supposed to do. They got kids over here, kids over there, and it's like I shouldn't have to hunt you down. You know what you did, and that's why if we responsible before we lay down, we ain't got to worry about that.
Mhm.
Wizzo said, if a man don't want to pay child support, he can just give up his rights and move on to the next woman.
Not in Texas.
It
You
don't
give
work
them
that way.
rights.
Liz.
In Texas, you give them your rights. You still got to pay child support.
Exactly.
Take a
Not
break.
that easy.
Take a break.
You can give up your rights all the way. All giving up your rights do is she can change. He doesn't have to have your last name. The kid doesn't have to have your last name, but you're still gonna pay child support.
All right. Anybody else got anything else on that? So before I go to the next one.
I think it plays on the psyche of the child too. This
Mhm.
guy, if you're like a stepfather, whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
um, you're raising this child, and all of a sudden you disappear, the mother makes the decisions, but this kid can actually have a relationship with the dude, or the mother, right, vice versa. What happens is now this kid is wondering where did he go.
Mm-hmm.
If he already didn't have a dad, now you're losing the second guy. Now the kid is seeing a revolving door, and he's kind of like, okay, I can't question mom. I don't know what she gonna tell me. Like, so what's up with that? So I think it plays it's the psyche of the kid and the dad at the same time. So the man that's coming in that's involved, and the child.
Mm. I think my oldest son kind of told me something similar to that as far as the guys I was dating and I would you know how you're not supposed to bring them around your kids and stuff like that, but because the way my family is set up, like if we have a family gathering, everybody invited. So if we hanging out and we dating or whatever, I would invite you. You come over, my kids will see you, get to know you. But I think that actually bothered my oldest son, and he didn't tell me obviously until he got grown that he didn't know what I had going on until I was married. When I was married, he knew, but before after that or before that, it was like he didn't know who I was with and what I had going on. Like he just would see different guys that I dated. And so had he expressed that, but when they're young, they don't, think to express that. They just go with whatever mom say. So I think that is one of the things if I could have did differently, like I wouldn't have brought nobody around my kids. But it's kind of hard to do when you're a single parent and you have your kids 24/7. You can't always afford a babysitter to go here and do that, and you want to do stuff. So you make it kid friendly so you can bring your kids. So I think that's one of the things that I regret a little bit, like when I was dating and being a single parent. And I'm saying single parent, but my kids' fathers were already in their lives, but not as a consistent basis like I think an active father would have been.
Now, is that, and then, I don't know, right? This is your
Hmm.
experience. So, is that an active father that like what you think an active father should be, or an actual active father? Because everybody has their own perceptions of stuff. So, I
So
can
when
be
you
like,
say
I think I
when
was a
you
good active father, but then the mom be like, "Oh, you wasn't an active father in my eyes because I wasn't. It wasn't the perception she seen me, or she, even though she's not a father, she's a mother because I wasn't this type of father that she thought I needed. I needed to be. I wasn't an active father. You know what I'm
I could
saying?
just tell you what I take to be an active father. I think an active father, like these kids have phones, they had phones. They can reach out and call you whenever if they
Hmm.
ever needed to talk. So that was non-existent. You would come get them at some point. That was non-existent. It was not easy to reach you because I don't know where the hell you at, what you got going on. You're not answering your phone. That was not a thing. So active, I mean, actively participate, like when they're in sports, when they go into school stuff, plays, bands, whatever. All those things would present active because you're actively there and participating in the kid's life. So I
Okay.
didn't have that. I'm not sure what other how else to describe a
No, you
active
good. Yeah,
parent if they're
I was
not.
just asking, just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah. So
You
no,
know,
it's not my own personal. They wasn't there. Um,
gotcha.
yeah. So Wizzo Talk says Texas, giving up your parental rights generally ends the obligation to pay future child support. However, you remain responsible for any unpaid child support that accumulated before the termination. He got that from Google. And then he
Yeah,
said,
I didn't. That, when I said that, I was from not from my experience, but my friend's experience
oh,
that
okay.
he
He
gave up
said
his right
just
to
to go
to
to
operate.
jail and don't pay. I'm just saying.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, buddy.
Have
I
you
mean,
ever experienced anything like that, Ashley?
it
Probably
works.
No, I
not.
don't
It
have
works
that
like that, but you gonna go to jail and you still owe. So you gonna do both. It's gonna be double jeopardy.
So if you go to jail and do your time, you don't owe anymore, or you still owe?
No, you still owe, and it's still accumulating while you in jail, not being able to make real money.
But that is not just for the man. That's for the non-custodial parent, right? Let's clear that up because
That's
people
for
always say it's usually the
whoever
man,
owes the
but
child support. Yeah, whoever owes child support. So
right. So that's the
the
non-custodial parent,
non-custodial
the one
parent.
that doesn't have custody. All right.
Correct.
So that's not just male. So that could be a female as well.
Yeah, it could be,
Okay. Because when you hear it talked
but when
about,
you
it's
when
just
you when you when
usually
you hear about it,
that
what do
it's
you
a
think of?
man.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah.
I'm just clarifying
We
for.
know nowadays because it's 2025. We know now just as many deadbeat moms as just as many deadbeat dads. It probably had it back in the day too, but everybody didn't look at it in that spectrum. Everybody just looked at the dad leaving, not the mom. Even if the mom has the kid and collecting the check, she can still be a deadbeat. Just don't doesn't mean
Absolutely.
that don't mean she's the better parent. She just
Absolutely. I definitely
yeah,
agree with
she
that.
got the kid by default because she had the kid, you know. So that don't mean she's the better parent at all.
Yeah, I think it is harder to prove that a mom is unfit than it is a dad, but
Is it
it
harder
has
to
been
prove that
proven.
because people don't want to think about it, or is it harder to prove that because it's hard to prove? Because it's not hard to prove.
I think it's on a case to case basis. Like I don't really know too many deadbeats mom, but I do know of a deadbeat mom. So yeah, I think if you can prove it, and because I can't speak for a man, but so let
Mhm.
me say for as far as my own personal experience, the dads wasn't doing what they supposed to do. Like so, I can't really speak for nobody experience. That's it. But we're gonna move right along on that. Go ahead. You got something else on that?
No, go ahead. We moving along.
Okay. So I want to talk about the word sassy, right? Because we've been hearing that across the world now. It's like huge, and it doesn't mean gay though, right? Does it mean gay? I think it's just to mean a man operating in his
I think it's
femininity, right?
I think
Oh,
it's
you're
I think it's
saying
on
towards
Correct me if
men?
I'm wrong.
Oh,
I think
no.
That's
it's on the
gay.
You
spectrum.
using that for these days?
I don't know.
No.
I think it's on the spectrum of homosexual.
Oh, is it? It's
Yeah,
not a guy
I'm
operating in
calling
his
you
femininity.
sassy.
I
No,
mean, I got to
No,
do.
help me. I'm
I
asking. I'm
mean,
not telling.
are we talking about life period? Like, are we talking back in the day?
I'm
Did a
talking
guy
about when
have?
women use the word sassy. So, say for a man who argues back with a woman, she'll call him like, "Okay, you getting sassy now." I
She
don't think
calling him
she's saying
sassy.
you gay.
But she just call him sassy just to call him sassy. That's not a sassy
you
act.
just being
So
mean.
I'm just supposed to talk to you. You could talk to me any kind of way, and I'm just supposed to set up and listen to you. Me talking
Hey,
back to you, it's gonna cause an argument. That's not me being sassy. That's me standing up for myself.
yeah. I
So
had to
when
stop
you use the
somebody
word
earlier
sassy,
because
to get up under that
Oh,
guy's skin, but that's not sassy. Is something feminine. Me arguing back with you is not. It has nothing to do with being feminine.
or don't.
Okay, let me ask you. So, okay, give me your definition of what sassy is, and then we'll talk about it. Everybody, give me their definition of what sassy is in a few
For a
words.
woman, only women can be sassy.
Only women can be sassy, but we're
Use
particularly talking about men and men being called sassy. So,
no,
Because
what's
they're
I,
your
doing because
interpretation
they're
of how
doing
a woman would
if
call a
they're
man sassy?
if they call a man if a woman calls a man sassy, it's because he's doing feminine things,
Okay,
holding
that's what I
Yeah,
purse,
thought.
I agree with
holding his
that.
hand a certain kind of way, talking a certain kind of way, doing gestures with his body a certain kind of way in a feminine
Using
way.
his hands as he talk.
Yeah,
What's wrong with
These that's sassy.
yeah,
Yeah.
something a woman or a gay guy would do.
But do you agree that both male
Feminine
and
gay guy.
female have feminine and masculine traits already embedded in them? Like it's a
Yeah,
normal thing for a human to have both traits,
yeah,
feminine and Falon is shaking his
Did he
head.
say no?
Go ahead and go on and elaborate. You say yes or no, Slim?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it's I mean, speaking for myself, it's I don't want to use the word feminine,
Why
but it's
not?
because I don't
That's
want
what it's
to.
called.
I don't. I mean, maybe, but I don't want to use the word feminine. But I'm
Okay.
raising boys, right? And I can't be
Uh-huh.
tough up on them, but I got to show them some
Thank
kind of
you.
love,
Okay.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
maybe me showing them love and giving them hugs, extra
That's
hard
you using
hugs,
your feminine.
is me
That's
being.
it.
But I don't want to say the word feminine. I
no.
don't think it's feminine though. It's just I don't know. It's
But you
not.
just said if you operating as if a woman. So let me just say this.
But that's
Because
not operating. Is that operating as a woman?
hold on, it's operating as a human. Because humans have both feminine and masculine traits. And if you break it down to what a guy or whatever people think a man is, and you call it masculinity, women operate and do those same things, which is why y'all say I don't want no masculine woman, simply because she is operating as a man will operate. Okay, so it's the same thing, and it's not a bad thing. It's because we have that stigma around the word that you don't even want to use the word feminine. But I mean, that's what it is, and it's okay though. It's not even like a negative thing. It's huge that men actually tap into that and stop trying to be so manly all the time. Like seriously, it's ridiculous.
Why is it
Falam,
ridiculous?
what do you have to say about it?
I would say this: when you asked them the question and you was asking about sassy, he immediately went into like, well, not sassy, but let me explain. No matter what it is, we are men. You know what I mean? So if he needs to give his kids hugs and stuff like that, it doesn't mean that he's he's a father and he's an expression of love. That's an expression. Sassy is when you're acting a way of mimicking a woman. It's a word that's associated with a woman. So masculine women, we could say that's the woman that's
Just acting like a
she's
man.
aggressive, she's loud, she's cursing
Mimicking.
and things like that. She's stepping outside a being a feminine woman. Men can't be it doesn't even go together for a man. You know what I mean? That man, we're gonna naturally reject anything that's of that nature because we are men. You know what I mean?
So
So
men can't be nurturing.
you could be nurturing, but you don't have to associate it with
That's a
being
feminine.
feminine.
That's a feminine quality.
Well, you can. It's gonna be. We're gonna do it to a certain way. So the woman might grab the cheeks and, oh, this my baby. This. The dad might just punch him in the shoulder like, boy, I love you.
Oh,
Or
child.
right here. The mother will want to do all the extra stuff. You know, it's just.
That is not nurturing. Wait,
Um,
punching them in. Oh, that's my.
But I'm
I'm
saying
sorry.
it's a different. It's a
I'm talking
different
about
way.
holding, caressing, kissing
Okay. Let
your
me show you the
child.
difference.
All those things are nurturing. Those are
Let me,
feminine qualities.
let me show
Go
you what
ahead.
I tell you this. So
Hmm.
when I see the Indians of the Mac Barks, those like the Indian people walking around, they tend to
Hmm.
hold their son's hands, right, in public.
Yeah.
I look at it like might be touching that boy at home. Because why are you holding his hand? He got a whole mama over there. You know what I mean? Like you supposed to be walking and ready of the defense. Let the mother hold the hand together. Collectively, you are a family, right? So you don't need to hold the hand. You might need to switch up. Let me hold my daughter's hand, and let the mother hold what I mean, the little boy's hand, and something like that. But if there is no mother around, then it's a certain way that you would. You might put your arm around your son like that. It doesn't mean that you're tapping into your being feminine and nothing like that. It's just that you're expressing it in a different way. But when you associate sassy and that don't even go together. Like a man is just gonna reject that naturally. You know what I mean? Because it's not in us to be to that extreme of it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying we're not gonna show no love, but it's gonna be a different way that you express it.
I think it's the words. If it was because if it wasn't the word sassy, the word feminine attached to females, then
So
you
give me another
say
word.
so much.
What's another word that you would use to associate yourself, a man with, other than
Before there was an XY chromosome, there was an X.
You was a woman
So
before you
you
was
was a woman
anything.
before you turned into a man.
oh
You
well
don't really
hold
say
up,
introduce
wait a
yourself.
minute.
No,
Adam
no,
was
this is
here first.
scientifically. Huh?
Adam
Say
was
Okay,
what?
here first. Y'all,
scientifically, there is no proof of that. Chris said, "Actually, introduce yourself." Third grade science teacher. Like I said, before there was an XY, there was X. Don't even worry about the Y just yet, right?
mm,
Then y'all became XY. You have a feminine side, and it's okay to tap into it.
It's
Don't feel
okay.
like it makes you a female. Now that sassy stuff she's talking about, yes, we're gonna leave that to the feminine male because you have masculine gay dudes. They sometimes don't even like the feminine males. They just too much,
They
you
don't
know.
even consider themselves gay.
They're
They
not.
won't let it get done in the back of them. But they doing it.
so if you're in the house with your dude, right, and somebody breaks into the house, they're breaking into the house, you want to send the feminine guy, or you want to send the man?
I want him to tap into his masculinity. Yeah,
Why should he,
go protect us.
well,
Absolutely.
why should he tap in
But
there if
his
he's
feminine
naturally
side, I
who
want
he
him
is?
to
Yeah,
hold on,
That is a part.
hug a girl.
if
That
you
is a
always inside
part.
your masculinity, you ain't got to tap into it. You
You ain't gotta
always
tap
So
So
in.
you
look,
do be
but
tapping it
here's the
out.
thing. PM and Slim. Here's the thing. You can be cool, calm, and collective, and this is what she meant. And I know what she meant because I was gonna say it anyway. You can be cool, calm, and collective 23 hours a day. Your example: somebody break into the house. You ain't gonna be cool, calm, and collective. That's you tapping into your masculinity because you have to become a different person. The same way if somebody disrespecting you and you out in the street,
So
you tap into.
you're saying that when we cool and chilling and we just chilling around the house, we're not masculine? Well, we
No,
can't be chilling
okay. Here's a
masculine.
good example. She just said it. If you holding her on the couch or whatever the case may be, rubbing her neck or whatever, no, you're not being masculine at the
No, you're
moment.
not.
You're not. You're just not, and
Yeah,
it's
you
okay.
are because you
Yeah,
Masculine
It's
when
speaking
you
that
okay.
ignoring
masculine.
me.
You're
I'm a
speaking that
whole
masculine
nigga.
touch from a
I'm gonna be
man.
a
That's
whole
what
nigga while I'm holding you.
holding you. Yeah. Why you think you're
I
there?
swear it's
You can be
okay.
that. You can
Why
be
do
that.
you think you're there though?
Men have
You
been
want
so
that
You got to.
masculine man
programmed.
to hold you, right? And
Yeah,
cuddle you and
Men,
grab you and all that. Yeah.
programming.
The man is when you spooning, the man is on that backside. You
Yeah.
ain't never seen a woman spooning a man from the back. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I
you
yes,
gonna
have.
I
be right
have.
here.
Yeah, I
You know what
have.
I'm
Yes,
saying?
I have.
Yes, I have. I've been there. I've
It's
experienced it.
experience.
You've
I'm sure
attached
you
it.
have too, but we ain't gonna talk
You've
about it because
No,
y'all
attached
we
don't
don't
yourself
talk
want
to
to talk
that
about
about
it.
it.
man.
He don't want
Y'all
to talk
don't
about it.
talk
Don't worry,
about
boo.
it, and it's what I'm here to say is okay. Y'all been so
For her to
programmed
hold you.
from a little boy that you got to be tough, you got to have a mean mug, you can't be playful, you
Can't
can't be
cry.
sensitive, you can't cry, you can't let them see you
No,
cry.
no, now
But I think it's okay.
we tap into other things, right? Especially when it's with our lady or with our kids, our little girls. Of course, we got to tap into other sides. We just don't want. We just not calling it feminine. We're not tapping into our feminine side.
You don't have to call it that. Just know that
Just
it
know that's
is.
what it
That's
is,
it.
I don't
and
want to know
it's
that. I don't
okay.
want to know that's what it is. That's
It,
what I'm
in the
saying.
words
I
in the
get it.
words of my boy
It's giving
Seven,
trauma. It's
that's why they
okay.
wear fingernail
It's
polish, tight jeans, purses, and all that stuff right now because somebody kept letting them tap into a feminine trait. And next thing you know, now we got dudes wearing fingernail polish, lip gloss, eyeshadow, and all this good stuff. And then they walking with a woman. There is no such thing as a man needing to tap into nothing that he's already
Now you
not a
mad? You
part
mad
of.
at your dude because he didn't
That's
use
not
all
true.
your eyeliner to do his edge
Yeah.
up.
And
Y'all
your
Where's
clear
taking it to
polish
a
Rizzo?
and all
whole
this stuff. Now
nother
you
level.
hot.
Rizzo, did you go to Google yet? Because I know you watching. Rizzo, tell the man. Tell him.
Being compassionate, being empathetic, those are feminine qualities and traits that y'all possess. Y'all choose not to tap into those things because y'all been programmed
It's
that
not choosing not to
we are
tap into it
problem solvers.
Because
We don't
of course, we're
empathize.
empathetic and we all that stuff that you said. So
No, a
we're
lot
not.
of them not.
We don't choose
They don't
not to
tap
tap into it. We are tapped into it. I just don't think it's a feminine trait. I think it's a man trait. Also, it's two different versions. So they got women that are
T.
empathetic as a woman, and they got a man that's empathetic as a man. Right? It's not the same.
No, friend. We're all humans. Empathetic is
But it's
empathetic
not. But it's
across
not
the
going to be the
board,
same.
whether you're a
But
male or female.
me hearing that somebody passed and me wanting to hold you because I know you hurting right now. It's not me tapping into something feminine. That's just me being a man and taking care of my friend because she needs me to take care of her in this time of need. That's not me being feminine at all.
at all.
But according to y'all, that's me tapping into my feminine side. So now I can't give you a hug no more because I don't want to tap into
See,
that.
because see what I mean. You see what you're doing there. You see
No, but
what you're doing.
I'm just
Let me
saying.
just
You
let
getting
me
aggressive.
shed a little
As
light
a
on what you're
man,
doing.
I can do the same things, but as a man, not as a woman.
But
So
you're
me,
a man, so even when you're doing them, you're still a man. It doesn't take away from your manhood, and that's what I want to tell you. It does not take away from your manhood, not even a little bit. You being empathetic, and even us saying it's a feminine trait, it doesn't take away from your manhood. You're a human, so humans can feel empathetic or empathy and hold and hug. It's okay. It's still attached to the feminine trait inside of you, whether you want it to be or not. It's the play on the words that's bothering you.
Y'all just need the
No, it's
right one to
not.
Don't
step
feel
in.
I'm
attacked
not
because we're
tapping.
not trying
I'm
to
not.
attack you at
I'm
all.
not
I
tapping into
promise you.
nothing that you you say here and make up on this on
I
this
didn't make that
show.
up, sir.
Whether
Scientists.
it's an X or Y chromosome, whatever the case may be, I am a man. You are a woman. You tap into those feminine qualities because that's what you do. Feel me? That's why you bear children. We can't come have a baby come out the pee pee hole. It was designed that way for a reason. That's why you have a man that's supposed to be masculine and a woman is supposed to be feminine. It's
But we were talking about before you
We're just
developed into a
right.
little boy in your mama's stomach that we you talking about. Before you developed into a little boy,
hmm
you were a half little girl. That's it.
Half little girl.
You were X. You was an X.
I
You know,
I
we're
will
X. Y'all
let
XY,
me say
right?
this. When the doctor looked in there and he looked in the little machine, he put me and my mom under that. You know what he saw? A pair of nuts
close
and a
enough.
penis. And he said, "That is a boy, Damon. There's no way that you gonna tell me that I was a female at any point of my lifetime because I bear children and I shoot sperm. I was a man. That's what by
Me
God designed.
biology.
That's how I came out, and I have bear children by injecting it into the female body. That's just the way it is. It's okay.
All right, we're gonna agree to disagree, but I do want y'all to know overall that we all share both feminine and masculinity, and we tap in and out daily. Daily, we do that, especially if you are a single parent with kids. You don't have no choice but to tap into that one because you can't always come with that tough rah rah, get over it, wipe your face. No, you're gonna have to hold your kid and tell them it's gonna be all right, and that is okay. It's okay.
I
So
agree.
you mean to tell me that
All right. So what?
yeah, a
What?
dad can't have that same thing without saying that he's tapping into that? Like we
But
always looked at as being aggressive.
Is what they saying.
you
You're
have it
saying we
in you
always
already. All
aggressive?
right. The play on words when I say tap in is you choose when to be that. Just like you choose when to fight, you choose when to comfort, you choose when to love, you choose when to hate. It's all you tapping in whenever you get ready because you're in control of you. You're the author. So whenever you decide, just like I can decide to be mean and tough all the time. I can choose that, and y'all gonna automatically say I'm masculine. I'm not gonna get offended because I know I'm choosing this behavior that's attached to men. The same way I'm telling y'all can choose feminine traits and operate when you have your woman or your child when you need to, not when you're around your men, because you damn sure ain't gonna be that way around your men friends. So I just want y'all to know it's okay. Like it's safe when you with your person and your partner to let that guard down and be soft with her. Like I really believe y'all need to know it's okay. But a lot of y'all so programmed that tough is the way, problem solve. Sometimes she don't want you to solve a problem. Sometimes she just wants you to hold her.
No, just be there.
Yeah, just be present. That's it. So I wanted to bring that up because I kind of knew I would get a little pushback. Maybe I shouldn't have started with the sassy
That
because
probably was.
I believe sassy is just like a little over dramatic uh man being feminine to the point where he's confused whether he's a man or a female, a male or a female. That's not what I was talking about in relation to men, and I'm talking about solid men who know they men and operate in their masculinity more than femininity. But I'm just letting y'all know that y'all can bring it down a notch when y'all with the woman that you love and the woman that you're choosing to love and your children, because we
And we
need to see
do,
that side of you
we,
as
we
well.
do bring it down a
Some
notch,
some
but
men don't.
that's
Some
not
men
considered
don't.
feminine.
It wouldn't have made a topic if some men don't. If some men did, it's a lot of them don't. So that's why I made one of the topics that I wanted to discuss today. Like because it's a lot of men that don't, and I want y'all to know that as women, I hear that are okay with it. Clearly behind closed doors or in the comfort of your home, not in the streets. Because I need you to be what I need you to be out in the streets if it's a problem.
Oh,
But
now you
I'm
need a pit
saying
bull to
behind
walk
closed
through in the
doors
street.
with your women, with your children, and sometimes in the
No, I
streets
need you to be
when
that
it's
way in the
road
streets
rage,
too.
because sometimes y'all can get you can like that guy who took his son to go fight another dude and he lost his life. Like sometimes you just need to like dial it back. It's not that serious sometimes where you put yourself and your family at risk and your lives at risk. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes it's okay to dial it back. We're not gonna look at y'all any different. You got anything else on that?
No, I think I said what I said, and I have facts behind it. Google it. It's on Google.
All
Wow.
right. Hey, what did we lose Slim?
Look like
I think he might need to go.
No, I'm
handle.
here.
Okay. All right. Let me ask the fellas this, and then y'all give me y'all opinion, of course, and then we'll chime in as the women. Um, as a young boy to the adult, the age you guys are now, did you always seek validation from women, or feel that you need validation from women? And I could tell you where I'm coming from with that, but I'll have y'all answer the questions first.
I mean, what do you mean validation for what?
So, even in school, middle school, high school, um, the type of shoes you wear, clothes you wear, car you drive, house you buy. Do you do all these things to get validation from women so the women can be like, ooh, look at him. Ooh, I want to get to know him. Ooh, even the woman you choose to have on your arm, like, is it all to seek validation from women?
I mean, Jay-Z made a song about it, about the power of the PUSSY. That's what the song is about, ain't
That's what
Did you
Paul
see
just
that?
said. Nope, just
Interesting.
it?
Wizzo, shout out to Wizzo.
I was listening up tonight.
Hey, there's a song. Go ahead and play that song
oh
right
my
quick.
God, that's crazy. So are y'all agreeing with that? That y'all needed the validation growing up your entire life? And do y'all operate like that right now?
Heck no, I didn't need no validation.
I knew
Okay.
somebody was
I
gonna
don't
say
So
know.
that.
I don't know.
I knew somebody was gonna
I
say
don't know
that.
if validation is the
Look at you.
word. The word you it's another word you're using right now that it's like I don't know if validation like we need. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't think it's validation that we need.
just moved up. Look at him.
I think it is. I think men operate in a way to where they want to be validated by women. They want women to want them. So they make they selfless. That's why men get these big old nice cars with big old rims and this loud music that I don't even like. But I'm sure
Yeah,
some women like it.
but
That's why they do
a
it.
woman a woman's gonna like you with the nice car, the big rims, or she's gonna like you in a little small Kia with no rims. I mean, a woman's gonna like you
Y'all
with.
might know that now based off of y'all experience, but I'm
I've,
talking about
I've,
like coming up.
I've, I've
You've
always
always known that. Oh my God, this is crazy.
He way
because
too
what
much.
one woman don't
Paul
like,
said,
what
or
woman
head.
one woman don't like, one woman the other woman gonna like. So it's too
But the
many
way y'all
things.
operate and carry yourself is for that validation from women liking y'all. So, for example, I'll just say this. So, for example, like when women come out and have dress, right? Who are they seeking validation from? Is it from other women looking at them, or are they trying to get the men attention?
According to the woman, because when you asked her why they came out like that, she said she came out like that for herself.
I'm asking your.
Ain't that what?
thoughts.
Ain't that what you? I didn't put this on for them, nigga.
Well,
I came out here like
I
this.
can tell you when I dress is because I like what I see in the mirror, and that's what I wear. And I'm probably not going to come out half naked though. But I
Right.
know a lot of females who do come out
Mhm.
with everything out. And I think Janice said it on the show. She does it, and she's very honest because she likes the attention that her girls get. So I'm asking y'all, like, I'm trying to reverse it, but you're telling me that you don't see validation from women, but
No,
I
because
know
I'm
some
not
men
dressing. I'm
do.
not
Like that's
dressing
why y'all
nice.
go to the fanciest
I'm
stuff.
not dressing nice and put. I guess have nice
How can
clothes.
we get the men to admit it? I don't get it.
It
I
ain't even
mean,
just the
I mean,
fanciest cars. They go to
if
the
so if
gym.
so
They
if
got
I can
homes.
if I can say anything, if I'm validating anything, since we're talking about from youth to now, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was validating anything, I'm validating my parents because my parents is the one that started dressing me, and then when I start dressing myself, I'm trying to impress my. Oh, I know how to do it, mom. I can do it myself now. Look, no, you need to change that shirt. They don't match. So now I'm validating what my mom, how she dressed me, and my dad dressed me. Now I'm older, and I'm not that way per se, but I'm still in that category. But it has nothing to do with a woman. I don't think.
I think it's
Now,
sexism.
Slim, I'm about to call you out because I'm not buying this story. If anything, I'm validating my parents. Get the hell. Look,
I'm talking about,
Slim,
we're talking
Slim.
about we started off talking about from when we were younger.
Younger.
So when we were
Mhm.
younger,
Yeah, because it starts young in school.
because
Yeah.
before before you went to girls and to boys, who are you validating it for? Who are you doing it for? Who you putting your shoes on the right feet for? For your mama, because she's not going out with you like that, and your shoes are on the wrong feet.
Friend, I interviewed you yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why would a woman be happy to be with you or lucky to be with you? Right?
Okay.
And you start naming off your degrees, what kind of
Okay.
job you got.
Okay.
Why did you do that? Because you know women love a man who is secure.
That's
They
that's
got
that's
money.
that's not. So I went to school and got 3 degrees for a woman.
That's self
Hold on,
achievement.
hold on.
That has nothing to do with
I didn't.
validation.
You didn't even let me finish, friend.
You started out. You came in
Finish.
hot though. You came in kind of
Hold on, you
hot.
didn't let me finish though.
Are you trying
Before
to
you
come in
feel
hot?
like you're being attacked, I just want to say that. What did I say? I said that's not what we want to hear, right?
Right.
We don't want to hear your accomplishments and all that. We want to hear how you are kind, how
Okay.
you're gentle. Now, and that's really me speaking for me and women like me. Now, because I know some women want to know how much money you're making. You know, some of them out there is concerned about that.
Right.
But because it was my show, and I'm like, yeah, that ain't. I wouldn't feel lucky to be with you because you got, you know. So that's why I was like, nah, that's not what we want to hear. And then you start saying those other things, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
you kind and you treat women right and all this. And I say, next time lead with that. That's what we want to hear.
Right.
So not just men, because women do the same thing. Like they start talking about their accomplishments and all this. Y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't care about that.
So I understand what you're saying. So like
Mm-hmm.
when a woman say, "Oh, you're such a gentleman. Your mom raised you right, or your
Mm-hmm.
grandma raised you right." That's validation for my parents and my grandparents who taught me to be a gentleman, no matter what. Whether I'm trying to get the draws or where I'm just myself. Period. I'm gonna be who I'm genuinely gonna be who I'm gonna be because of my upbringing. So if validation, what you're saying about from a woman, it has nothing to do with that. Then because I'm just being who I am because of how I was raised. I was raised like that.
Maybe the woman is your mom.
Maybe the woman's my mom. Maybe the male is my dad. Maybe it's my granddad or my uncles who raised me. You know what I'm saying? So the question was, do we feel validated by women? And I don't think so.
Seek validation,
Seek
like in
validation
the
from
way
women.
you
I don't think
operate,
so.
in the way you in that gym, the cars you buy,
Because you could be with a girl.
the way you look.
We can be together, and I put something on that I know I look good in, and I talk to you. I'm like, hey, babe, how I look? You need to take that off. And I'm like, nigga, I know I look good. I'm finna leave this house. That's how is that? So obviously, we're not seeking validation from you.
You asked. The fact that you asked is the seek.
I know from on my own personal experience with dealing with men, they do not want you to see them in a negative light at all, which is why they keep that stuff. And I'm sure it's for women too. I'm not going to say it's just for men, but my experience with men, particularly, they don't want you to see them. They want to keep that Superman look on their chest for you, and I appreciate it. but I know that there is some hurt there, there is some trauma there is some softness there that I always want to tap into because I want you to know it's safe. There's a safe place here where you can
Which
be
is,
all these things,
as
not
you
just
said,
Superman.
that's how it's supposed to be with somebody close to you. It's supposed to be a safe. You're supposed to create that safe space for a man or a woman. But that's not validation.
Right. So, Falon, let's hear from you, friend.
Well,
We got
let's go
enough from
back.
Slim. Slim's over here
I'm
being
listening.
politically correct.
It does make
It's for
sense.
my parents. It's for my
So,
grandpa.
like, to answer
It
your
ain't for
question,
no booty.
It's for the movie.
on the, like I believe when a female walks out of the house, the short dress and exposure is the
Mm.
attractive man. The fans on the eyelids, the hair, the nails, the purse, and all that. That's for the other women. I mean, so y'all have different things in which y'all use to validate yourselves in those type of environments. As far as a man, me coming up, even in my childhood, nah, I'm going outside to play as a kid. I don't care if, as long as I have shoes on to go out there and run and play, I'm good. I get to junior high school, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to school. At that point, just whatever what your mother and them put on you. So no, wasn't seeking validation. School clothes was purchased by my parents. Maybe in high school, when you putting on cologne to smell good, you might be saying, okay, yeah, start smelling yourself. Like I see kids coming to the barbershop. I don't. Their moms like, I just cut his hair. When they get to a certain point, and that little kid come in there and he be like, hey, hold up. Can you do so and so and so, and then put this line here and this? First question I ask him, what's her name? 'Cause I've been cutting your hair for 5 years. You didn't give a damn on how your hair look. All of a sudden, you come in here,
Silly coat.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you ain't musty no more. You can hear tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you want your hair cut, and I always say, "What's her name?" And then they start smiling. That's when I know they're at that stage. But for me, I grew up around women, so I felt that I knew the game. I got the game from a woman. So,
Game from a number, got your name from a woman.
and
Whatever
the game
Tupac
from
said.
a woman. Yeah. The speaking about it,
Whatever
I didn't need
Tupac
you because
said.
I already knew I had the secrets of what y'all was thinking about. I already had it.
All
So
right,
I
so
wasn't even seeking.
can y'all explain to me at what point did it turn around to the men being the prize versus the woman being the prize?
Who says the men is the
She
prize?
right.
This has been the going theory on the podcast that the male to because women have the access to sex and the men have access to marriage and relationships. So the ultimate prize is the man to get him to want to commit to you 100%. I'm inclined to believe it just a tad bit because
I
the
think it's
woman
when
goal is to be married and the man
mhm.
is in control of whether or not he get on one knee and propose and actually marry her, then she got a prize.
When you guys start adding the title, I ain't gonna say you guys because it wasn't y'all. When society start adding the title high value man, all of a sudden the men start believing, oh, we are the prize at some point. Because now you put a title on somebody that was supposed to be rich, cars, looking good, smelling good, well, situated through life. So now you put a title on it. So now you start seeking it. And then if you look at all the women that are getting rich off men, you get the athletes that get the title, they get raised with their parents and all this stuff. They get to a certain point when they get the contract, all of a sudden, you're now making women more rich than they were. You know what I mean? Because you go have a baby like Anthony Edwards, you get some money. You can get married and get divorced, you're gonna get some money. It's not many on record
Putting the
women
value
that
on
have made men rich. It's a lot of men that's making women rich. So I think once you start getting that title and with that high value men thing, that's when that might have came into play, being the prize.
yeah, I think that boosted a lot of male self confidence. But that's what I'm saying. Like, and then they do all these things. Nope, not even gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just not gonna say that. So, do you think? Do you believe that? Because I'm inclined to believe that a male is a prize, a good male. Now, I'm not gonna just say any man. Now, I'm gonna say a good man, a good provider, a good leader. I think that helps add a lot of balance to a woman's life.
I mean,
Period. So,
I mean that could be
both of
true.
us actually, obviously, are the prize. But to have a
Personally,
good
I was gonna
man
ask you, why can
is
they both be the
definitely
prize?
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was
Both
about
of
to
them
say.
obvious.
It's
I'm
giving
already
Kevin
saying the
Samuels.
woman is. already know she the prize. We already, so we've been the prize forever according to society. You know what I mean? So it's just all of a sudden now the man is the prize. Obviously, in my eyes, we both can be the prize because if you get a good man, I mean, like, as that's amazing to have a good, solid man, the one that's not gonna lie, cheat, manipulate. Be honest with you up front in the beginning. I think that's a treasure to treasure, and that's why a lot of women don't want to share when they get a good one. But I think sharing is caring sometimes. So
I cannot.
sometimes, if everybody agrees.
I mean, it's not a lot of it if you think about it. I mean, I hate.
So I want to ask both of y'all: do y'all feel like y'all are prizes? Damn, why y'all silent, guys?
I would think it's
Y'all
in
ain't
the eye of the
convinced
beholder.
yourself that y'all prizes.
I mean, it would be
I've
in the
never
eye of the beholder because one woman might say, "Oh, he trash," or "He not
I'm
tall enough."
asking you, what do you think about yourself? Because that, my friend, is going to headlight all your relationships. How you
Oh,
feel
okay.
about yourself?
Well, I can say this. I can say I'm a responsible adult. You like somebody that's responsible, and I might be a prize for you.
You might be. He's still not even certain.
If you like somebody that's responsible, then I might be the prize for you. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you said.
So you might or you might not, because that's what might implicates. But okay.
For that
It's
person.
still the woman has to select me. You know what I'm saying? I can go around here and say what I am all day. I can go around here
But see,
saying
this is the thing I'm
responsible adult.
saying, right? So are you saying that the woman choose you, not you choose the woman? Y'all don't choose each other? Like, what's happening here? Do
I'm a
we
firm
still have the
believer.
power? Are you letting us know we still got the power? Because a lot of women don't know that. They just
It's not
follow
a
for
power
whatever.
thing. It's not about a power thing, but you know what I mean? Look, you see a woman out in public, you have to approach the woman. Not many women approaching men out here. I don't know where y'all hang out at. Maybe I need to go visit. But it's not a lot of women visiting and approaching men. So the man has to make the approach.
Okay.
The woman
Okay.
has to make the selection. She can look and be like, boom. Or she could look and be like, how you doing? Wendy Williams, you know what I'm saying? It really depends on the woman and how far are you gonna go. I
Okay.
mean, that's just my opinion.
But so it's about who's approaching who,
Yeah,
basically.
it's probably why I'm single over here because it's
Let
not
me
many.
ask y'all this: do y'all so the thought just expired. Paul said the prize used to be pussy. Now it's so many gay people. The prize has changed. Oh my God, what is he talking
No, the
about?
prize was to be
I
in
know,
a
I know what you
relationship.
mean, Lizzo.
What? Can you elaborate then? Because I'm not sure what he meant by that.
Okay.
He said to get the prize from the woman used to be the wet box, but now it was so many gay men out here. The prize has changed. Might be the back door. You
I
know.
mean, the prize
Oh,
has changed is because women
my.
don't even make niggas wait no more for it. They just hand it to them like here.
Talk about it, Slim. Talk about it.
So
Talk
how is
about
that
it
the
because I
prize when
think that is
it's,
one of the
you ain't got
problems.
to work for it no more? You just, I mean, like you said, we looking for validation. If that's what we're looking for, I mean, it ain't hard
And they
because
just
shit,
give it
they
to
just,
you. It's like
I go
now what I
outside
gotta work for.
smelling like Von number 9 and shit. Here you go, take it.
I'm really trying to
What
see who you
would
messing
do
with.
you respect a woman more when she makes you wait versus when she doesn't? Because they have a whole thing. We're adults. We're two consenting adults. If I want to do it and you want to do it, why can't we do it? Even though we just met. But do that make you look at her sideways? Just be honest.
No, not really, because I'm also in the moment too. So we could be vibing, and if the moment's right, the moment's right. No matter if it's the first day or the 90th day.
But how do you say that and then you follow up? Or no, you say they don't even make you wait for it no more. So you ain't even got to put no work into it.
I
As
just said
if
that.
that's
I
a
just
bad
said that.
thing. As
I
if
just
it's a
said
bad
that.
thing.
I didn't. You took it as I said it's a bad thing. I never
Right.
said
And I
that.
said as if it's
Tone
a
said
bad
that.
thing. Your
Yeah,
tone said
no.
that.
Oh no, it's not a bad. I'm just saying, going off of what we're talking about is the prize, and then
Mhm.
Wizzo was talking about the coochie being the prize, which it used to be
From
the prize, right? But now, I mean, you got to go off something else, not just the prize, not just the coochie part.
So even if she gives you sex the first day, and this is why I tell women like y'all be backpedaling, y'all have sex and now you're trying to build a relationship. You're supposed to try to build that relationship first, and then you give them the intimate parts of you. So you're okay with getting to know a woman even if she gives it to you up on the first day.
Yeah.
What if it's not good? You still will give it another try?
No, it cut off.
Look, did you see his face?
I mean,
know her first, sir.
if it's not, so if
Did
it's
you
not,
see his facial expression?
For me.
but if it's not good, then you just part ways. Then because that's a big part of a relationship right there. If we're supposed to get married, so you get a relationship, you get married, and you're there forever. How are we gonna be there forever if it's not even good from day one?
You can't teach. You can't
Now,
learn to be better.
now,
Because I think you can learn each other's bodies and
are
how
you
you
more
like.
upset day one? You get it day one or two, and it's not good, and then y'all part ways, or are you more upset? You get it on day 90. You put all this work, and it's not good, and then y'all part ways, and you just wasted 90 days of your life.
But are you really wasting
Get out the
90
way.
days? Why is it considered a
Absolutely,
waste?
you wasted 90 days of your life
Why is
because
it considered a waste? You got to know this person. If it's 90 days, that means
asking
that's
you
that's
asking
a
you
good
asking
person.
questions. Come on, why is it considered a
He
waste?
said,
Why is it trash? Is what we need to be asking. Why is it trash?
Who raised him?
Why is it trash?
Why is it trash?
That's a great question.
If the goal is to build healthy relationships, you shouldn't have sex on the first day. It's really that simple. If that's the goal, but if the goal or the intention is I'm trying to get laid, then that's why people do things like that. Okay, because that's their intentions. I'm out here.
Sometimes trying to get laid turns into a 4-year relationship. The sex was good.
That's never happened to me, so I don't.
Well, I mean, it's never happened to me neither, but it's happened.
Oh,
To
okay.
people. It's happened to people, and I know people that.
PM, has that ever happened to you?
what? Getting laid and it turns into a
What
4-year
podcast
relationship?
you on? Are you there? What?
Like a one night
Nah,
stand turned into like
Actually, he was out of it for a
6
couple of
months.
years.
Whatever.
'cause I'm thinking like, what if day 1, 2, and 3 is terrible, and day 5 is good, 6 is good, and then after that is bad is bad. What we doing? A 50-50 split? Now you got to make a major decision on.
Day one, if
Nana
day
said
one,
it
2, and 3
happened to
is
her.
terrible, I don't know if I'm going back for 5, 6, and 7.
Okay, so
Paul
what if
said
day
rather the pussy no good, he's still gonna come and talk about it later. Oh my God.
What if
what
you
what
don't?
if day 1, 2, and 3 is good, and then the rest of it is trash?
Yeah.
Still in the same situation.
No
Maybe
comment.
it was only good because you was drunk or something like that. Maybe it was
Another reason why you shouldn't be going to bed with somebody.
you had them goggles on.
The female is only
That's
the
why
problem.
we have all these kids in the world.
That's correct. That's absolutely correct.
You telling me, and I'm hoping you telling the truth, right? If she gives it up on the first day, she's still okay with you as long as it's good. Is that what you're saying? Because if it's not, you're gonna cut her off. Just be honest, friend. It's
But
okay.
it's more so of the vibe too. It's more so of that person because I
How you
mean
gonna get a vibe if you don't get to know her?
maybe you get to know her.
That night,
That's what we was. No, you're not gonna get to know her in one night.
Look.
All you doing is
I don't know.
creating storytelling.
Have you ever had one night
Get the
stand?
windows out your car. Type
I've
of
never had a
situation.
one night
You
stand.
never had a one night stand, so that's what you're speaking of somebody that never had one. So I've had several. I was in the military. You have one night stands, and you kick them out that same night, or you have one night stands. This girl is kind of cool. Let's stay the night, and in the
Some
morning
friends.
time we get breakfast, and then I learn more about her, and then we together for another week or two. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. It's just, but it's the feeling that you get.
The military giving college life.
Yeah.
Paul says sex on a first date is just a fuck.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with him on that.
Yeah, it's not a connection.
Janice said, and sometimes on the first date you realize you only want sex from them. Now that's even more realistic.
That's real.
Like, because I think, especially for a woman, because obviously I can't speak for a man. I think in the first encounter of talking and getting to know somebody that first day, you know whether or not they can get it. Like, I believe that. Now, whether you give it to them or not, then that's your choice. But I do believe
You
that.
have to talk.
Is it the same for men? Y'all know the first time?
Some women say they just saw a dude walk in the room, be like, "Oh, he can get it." He ain't even said nothing.
I'm saying I believe that. I believe your first encounter of looking, watching, just watching him walk, because women do the same thing men do. We watch how a person move through the room or however they look or whatever, how they talk. We watch their lips, their eyes, teeth. Anyway. Anyway. And we can already think in our minds. damn, he can get it. No, like you know what I mean. So, is it the same for men? Is what I'm asking.
I mean, yeah. I
Okay,
can
thank you. God,
I
it's
can
so
look I can look at
pulling
your
teeth.
profile
Like,
picture and be like, he can
God,
get. I
Gosh.
mean,
So
that's the
insensitive.
phys- the looking is the first attraction you see anyway. So
right, right. But you can look and somebody
niggas
can
is,
be attractive. And you be like, I don't see.
niggas is hopping in your DMs or in your archives because of what you look like on your profile picture or your pictures on Facebook.
Paul said, "Yeah, I watched somebody dance sexy." Yes. Paul, you just stop it, okay?
Keep going,
I don't
Paul.
know what the hell you got going on over there.
He
I
was
call your wife. You better stop it.
uh,
So it's the same thing for men, okay? So is the determining factor if the woman has an equal attraction for you? Like, how do you get them to the bed? Like, you do the woman dictate that? Because I've had some guys come up to me and say some wild stuff, and I'm automatically turned off. Get away from me. Move around. So, do you wait for the woman to initiate it? Like,
Because some women have said some wild shit too, and it's an instant turn off. Also,
like what?
women women these days, 2025, are different than women we grew up with. Like different from how you guys were raised and how we were raised back in the day. These women
Mm.
nowadays are stepping into their whatever era there it is, whether it's the masculine era or hot girl era, or whatever it is. And so
They lost area. That's what they
more women
lost.
now are approaching men
Yeah.
versus men approaching
They
women.
focus. So it's a lot of women approaching men.
Yeah. At the
Do you
same,
have friends like that that approach men?
it's maybe 50-50.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's
All
maybe
the time.
50-50 now.
Hmm. No, I'm not out here approaching men.
Women shoot their shot
PM,
together.
are you out here approaching women or women approaching you?
me?
Mm-hmm.
I
I
mean, in the
mean, oh
past, yeah.
God, are women approaching you? This is what I want to know. Are women approaching you, Slim? Because earlier PM was like women not approaching him, so that's why I'm asking again.
Yeah, women have approached me. They approach me all the time.
Now, are these women women that you would date? Because here's another thing that's been going around in the world, like women not knowing like what level of man they should be approaching,
Men too.
and men vice versa. So I absolutely have had men approach me, and I wouldn't even like look in their direction, but
I've had,
respectfully, I would
you
just
know,
decline.
I've been on the online dating for like almost a year now. I'm trying to
Hmm.
do some online dating. I'm still skeptical of it, but yeah. So women definitely that I never see myself with. Like damn well you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be
We always talk
you know.
about it.
Oh
Women,
my God!
women are bold these days.
Men are bold too.
Yeah.
Women,
So
men have been bold because we have had to be bold because men were
right,
supposed
it's
to
like if you never
be the
take the shot,
aggressor.
you never know,
It's true.
right? You never.
Men are trained to be the aggressor. We pursue. That's how men are trained. Women have never been trained like that, but nowadays they're more so tapped into that side. So
The masculine side.
I guess that's what if that's what you want to call it.
How we got the,
That's
I'm
what you
sorry,
All
want
right,
my phone, you can't see it.
all
I'm
right.
sorry.
So we coming to
You
the
need to put that
we're
little
coming
muscle
to the
down.
end of the show because it's over an hour, and I know that we all have other things to go on. But a friend of mine sent me a show, and it was an interview, and there was a really heavy set woman on there, and she was saying she wouldn't date nothing but in shape guys with muscles, 6'3", and the lady told her, "You are delusional," right? And she said, "All I've ever dealt with is skinny guys." So I think on a certain level, like people do things because they are used to doing them and they've been getting away with doing them, right? So if she ain't never dealt with a skinny guy, how you gonna tell her just because she's big that she can't have a skinny guy?
You think the guys that are sending y'all when you open up your DM and there's a dick pic, you think you're the first person to get a dick pic? It's because it didn't work before.
Absolutely not. I
So
find
the
that to be
nigga,
No.
very distasteful.
so the niggas doing that in your DM is doing that to everybody, and obviously it didn't work before. It couldn't have
For
not have worked.
somebody,
It wouldn't
right?
be doing it. So same thing.
So it goes back to what I was saying. The woman selects the man because if she falls for the pick, he's on his way. You know what I'm saying? If we in the club and I go over there and you said you're gonna deny him gracefully or tastefully, you got to select that man, right? Because he might say something, you like, get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that the woman selects the man.
Well, if that's the case, when those women approach you in your DM, like Slim said, and he's like, girl, you know dang well I ain't ever. If she's choosing him, he still got to choose her. It takes two.
Yeah, but
So
my
women
DM is
ain't out
empty.
here choosing
A
because it takes
relationship in a
two.
marriage, it takes two.
It takes two. And the man is the one who is the relationship and marriage. Women don't do that. Women, you see the woman get on one knee getting her feelings hurt. That's what you see.
And the only women doing that is the big women that's taking the small
No,
women.
I seen some nice
No,
women getting on one knee, and then the baby mama showed up, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "I'm still in love with my baby mama." And she's like, "Is this some kind of joke? Is this a prank?" Because they were in a relationship, but he was still in love with his baby mama,
Crazy.
and he told her to get up off her knee because it ain't going down.
That mean he been sleeping with his baby mama still.
He
Yep.
never stopped
He never
messing around
stopped.
with
That's
his
the
baby
weirdo.
mama. He never
I love
stopped.
my baby mama. I never let it go. Didn't DMX say that?
I love my
All
baby
he had to
mom.
do was just tell the woman though, but that's the problem. Men are not being honest, and women are not being honest, and that's why we keep having this cycle of fucking trauma with these relationships. We're never going to get better when people are constantly lying, being deceitful, and the BS continues. That's what happens, and we'll just keep having podcasts and talking about it, and because that's what we love to do, or at least
I've
that's what I love to do.
I've turned down
So
2 or 3 rings.
anybody got any ending remarks? Oh, first let's see what Janice said. Hold on. Janice said, "Hey boo, what that mouth do?" Oh Lord, that's what I'm going to say if he looks like he's only good for sex. Child.
Mm.
I'm gonna say that,
Add
Janice.
Janice to the
And
prayer
and
list.
Janice, when you ask me that question, Janice, you gonna say, "Won't you three come with me?"
She said, as women, we have to start saying ew to the man's face when they aren't in our league. But it's hard because men get aggressive when you turn them down.
Yeah, don't get hit, girl. Don't say no junk
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
not going to say ew. I'll
People
just
getting
say I'm
smashed
not
in the face with
interested.
bricks these days. No,
I'll just say
no,
I'm not
thank
interested.
you.
So
But
I'm gonna ask you
but
two, ladies.
a man saying something. So I'm telling a woman that you know better than that. Is that being aggressive?
But I will ask you, what do you mean I know better than that?
Right, what do she know?
Better than
That's
what?
better than that.
That's not letting her down. You just need to tell her you're not interested. Don't waste time saying you
Look at
know better than that, because now
look
you
at
belittling.
you and look at me and look at
No,
you
thank
again.
you.
Look
Is all
at
you
you and
need.
look at me. Oh my,
See,
that's horrible.
that's
Slim,
what
horrible. Don't do that. That's
I'm talking
not
about
nice.
I'm talking about pulling
Because
my
then they
eyeglasses
can
down and
talk
everything. Like,
yeah, absolutely. The
Don't do
bust the
that.
windows out your car type of
Don't do
situation.
that.
why are
Just
you gonna bust the windows
politely
on my
say you're
car?
not interested.
Hey, that's not me. I'm just telling you what
Because the
reality is.
same way some men don't
But
like rejection, some women don't.
so women are not used to rejection. So that's why they do all that dumb shit because they're not
Some
used
men
to
are.
being rejected, right? That's why half the women don't do all that stuff. But just like you said, you telling the guy no and the guy being persistent, then you got to be a little bit more aggressive with your no. Like, nigga, I said no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I had a dude begging me to be my side piece. I said, the fact that you are begging me to be my side piece tells me you could never be a part of me or my life, period. I said, what does that say about you that you are okay? So I could play my role, I could play my position, you ain't gonna have no problems out of me. I said, I don't want no problems out of you.
You
I
just
don't
said
want no side piece.
you
I
said
don't want nobody who's settling to be side anything.
you just said you want a nigga
It's
to be
crazy.
honest. He was being honest. He don't
I
care about being a
appreciate
side
it, and that way I don't waste his time. But he
piece.
was begging, like he just kept that persistent stuff.
He seen
He
that
begged
ass.
his way to getting
He
blocked.
must have had them good jeans on that day.
No, I didn't have. I don't know what I had on, but it's weird. And he's married, so that tells me
Trauma.
what you need to do is go water your own grass,
You
and
need
that's
to be
what I
looking.
said
You need to
after a
just. You
while.
should have just looked in the mirror and say, what about me says side piece."
No, I'm not gonna put that on me. A lot of people's action and their behaviors has absolutely nothing to do with me.
I said
So
it.
there is no need for me to look in the mirror and say nothing because I ain't begging nobody to be no side piece. So I'm not putting nobody problems on me. So don't do that, ladies. Okay? When people are mean and ugly and disgruntled and all that, that has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them and what's going on and how they feel about themselves. When a person project happiness, love, and peace, that's what they feel inside of them, what they projecting.
Yeah.
So if they project inside peace, then that's their problem. That's not my problem. So
But
don't
like,
put it on you.
do we have to instantly reject people though? We just can't still have a conversation with that person, you
If
feeling
that's
that
what you
type of
want to
way.
do, it's your choice.
Okay.
I don't need to have a conversation with somebody already telling me what their intentions are.
Just don't be rude about
No,
it.
And
I
I'm
ain't talking
okay
about
with it.
like
I
that.
like when they do
I'm
that.
just
I
saying,
like when they tell me up front.
if
because I'm
somebody doesn't
nice.
qualify for you, like you still just won't conversate with them.
So I'm not even going to tell them they don't qualify. I'm either interested or I'm not. It's
That's what I'm
really
saying.
simple.
So not being interested, you're still not gonna just
That's not,
conversate.
I don't
I
need
mean,
to
you
have a
know when you're
conversation.
friend zoned.
I don't need to have a conversation. I don't need to.
Yeah, but
Now,
how
if I
many
am
niggas try to come out
interested,
your friend zone when you friend zone them?
say again.
Wait, one more time.
She just said when you're friend zone, but how many niggas come out that friends try to come out their friend zone when you friend zone them?
You just keep them in friend zone. You
But how
know,
many out? Not you keeping
You
them in
said
there. How many
trying
people
to
try
come
to
out.
come out? Try to
it's a
keep
lot.
them.
There's a lot of them, I'm sure.
Same thing with women. You try to
That's
you
why you
can't
don't waste.
you
That's
can't
why
friend
you don't
zone you
waste
can't
time.
friend zone everybody because they like you, and it's always going to be that attraction, and it's always going
Yep.
to be that try. So because you
That's
friend,
why you have a
so if people
conversation.
thinking because you friend zone me, maybe you giving me a chance.
Tell them they know how to wait a long time before they get in
Know how
there,
to wait a
honey.
long time.
They see an
This
opening.
ain't
I've
gonna
been
work.
waiting for her to fuck up. She was never good for you. Come, you want me to fix you something to eat? What you want to?
Or the first time, how you and your man doing? I used to hear that. How you and your man doing? I be like, why you asking
How
me that?
no no?
Because
How,
they
how you
looking.
how you and your little boo
This
doing?
is
Why she
friend
got to
zone.
be my little boo? How you and your little boo doing? Gotta be my
Oh,
little
boo.
boo.
Janice says she too fine to ever be a side period.
I
Tell
hear
Janice
Yeah,
to
that,
enjoy
confident.
where she
yeah,
at.
girl.
Yes.
Not knowingly anyway. Shit.
Mm.
Somebody. I was married, and the woman that my ex-husband was messing around with, she approached me, right, and was trying to check me, like, why are you trying to get him in trouble with his job? Because he was in the military. And I was like, I had to look. I said, am I the side piece? I was confused
You
on.
had to go bring a marriage certificate, huh?
I think I was a side piece, but I was his wife on paper. But I believe I was the side piece because apparently they had been everywhere, and I was like clueless to what was happening in my house. So I think I was a side piece. I think I was just the baby mama side piece because
Okay.
clearly she felt very confident enough to approach me, and I guess she called herself checking me, and I was just like, wow. So yeah, so you never know. You could be a side piece unknowingly, and I heard that too from a guy saying that you never know if you the side piece. So
You never know.
there it is, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. Another successful podcast. I appreciate everybody for coming. Anybody got any last remarks on anything we talked about today? Any advice y'all want to give people? Okay, let me say this. Just tell people you're not interested. Don't be having these lengthy conversations. Don't be leading them on. Do not be rude and tell them,
That
look
that
at
that
you, look
that
at
influence
me.
that
Don't do
influence
that. Just
that
tell
comes.
them you are not
So you know
interested.
how you say no, I'm not interested, but then the guy keep persisting, and you be like,
Yeah.
nigga, I said I'm
Uh-huh.
not interested. That's my nigga over
Interest.
there. You might be lying to
Block
something.
them.
It comes
Block.
after a certain amount of time. Same thing with the rudeness. Like, no, no, I'm good. You got a girl? No, I'm not. But I don't. I'm not finna say no. I don't want to. You're not my type. I'm trying to let you down easy. But it's until you start being persistent. Now, Then I told you I belong to the Lord. I can't
So
be with
women are persistent like that too.
Damn, that was a crazy one.
The Lord.
Wait, so women are out here being persistent like that
you.
too?
Yes,
Sam?
I
Yes,
don't know.
bro.
You did not just come from up under a rock. These women are living here. They live in your neighborhood. They shop at the same grocery stores you shop at.
So this is the part I don't get about that. Even like with guys being persistent, if a woman is telling you or a man telling you that they're not interested, they don't want you, you keep going and they keep saying no. If he do say yes, what do you think it's going to be like?
If,
Right?
if
Like, do you even think that far? Like, I don't know because I haven't been on the other end, but like just thinking about it, just thinking about like a person telling me no all the time, and then I finally get them. Like I'm happy because I got them after telling me no 1,000 times. Like what does that even look like? Because not all of a sudden you want me. Like
That's
what happened in your life that's different now that you want
correct,
me because you
correct.
didn't
crazy.
want me all these other times.
That's crazy,
You
right?
end up being the prize.
I'm done.
No, no, hold on.
Wait,
I'm being,
I'm playing.
like wait, I'm done. Wait, make
I
it
mean,
make sense, Lord.
all right. So Patrick Mahomes, he was chasing his wife for the longest. White girl, he black. White settlement. He chasing her, chasing. She denying him, denying him, denying him. She finally gave him a chance. Guess where she living at now?
There is always an exception to the rule. Okay.
Look where she living at now.
There's
Gotcha.
She
always an
finally
exception
gave
to the
in.
rule. But I
She got
cannot
two
see
little
that
niggas.
happen for us regular folks. Okay. I just don't see that
They
happen.
started off regular though. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. That's
I
what
ain't
happened.
sweating
It's an
happens
nobody
all the
that
attitude.
time.
hard and thinking I'm gonna be the prize. I'm gonna think, okay, it didn't
But
work out.
some
Yeah.
women,
So
some
now
men,
he's doubling
they
back.
want you. So if a man is if a man is telling you he's the prize, and obviously he wants you to pursue him. Vice versa. If a woman is saying she thinks she's the prize, or she's saying she's the prize, she wants the man to pursue her. So she's gonna play hard to get. She's gonna do this
Most
and that.
men and women don't say it though. They don't articulate it. They don't
Yeah,
say, "I
thinking
ain't
it,
shit, I'm the prize."
they
They just
thinking it
show
or
you
whatever.
that. Uh huh.
Yeah. So they thinking it.
Whatever happened to playing hard to get? Remember that used to be the phrase back in the day.
They
Niggas used to
lost.
be on that prize.
Man, men ain't going for that no more. You know why? Because they know somebody is not gonna play hard to get. And if the goal is what it is,
Yeah,
why am I going?
but the
Why am I
woman,
gonna put all this time and energy over here
the
when I can
woman,
just
it's a different kind of way you got to play hard to get though. You just can't shut a nigga down. You got to give him something.
like what breadcrumbs?
A,
Like just give them a
ca-
little bit enough just to
a
keep
text
coming back.
message here and there. You don't just not text a nigga because you playing hard. You playing too hard to get because then I'm gonna think that you're not even interested in me.
Why are we even playing games? Like I just don't even understand. Like it don't even make
Right,
sense.
right. Why?
Do you
Why would
do
you
that? Do you do that? Because you sound like you're an expert on it.
who do what?
You're talking about so you just give them a little bit. You don't
You
just not text.
drop
You
it
just give them a
I'm
little
straight.
text
talking
here,
about as a
a
woman.
little text
I'm talking about as a
there.
woman. I don't want to. I don't need you to pursue me. I'm the one that's supposed to be the pursuer.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't need
Okay,
you. I
well,
don't
there's a
need you.
lot of men out
I
here
don't need
thinking
you to
differently,
pursue
Sam.
me.
This is a new era, right?
Look,
It's a lot
I'm
of men thinking
Yeah.
you
differently.
ain't
They
gotta
think
pursue
men
me. I'm
should
easy. Here,
pursue.
you want it? Here, take it. I'm easy. Don't pursue me. Let me pursue you.
Unless you look in the mirror, you look at you,
If it's
and
too
then I look
easy,
at
then
me, and then you ain't easy.
Yeah, I
All
ain't
right.
that
So she got to be a certain caliber of a woman in order for that to happen. Is that what you're saying? In order for you to be
correct.
easy?
Correct.
Okay.
That was
not the
I'm a
sassy.
side ass. I'm a side ass swim.
Okay.
Correct.
good.
Hey, PM, should you be getting pursued or you should be doing the pursuing?
I mean, it
The
depends on where we at.
men even
Look,
buying
look,
this.
hesitation.
I'm just saying. I don't know. It depends on the circumstance. Really,
See how you
every
can get
scenario
two
is gonna be
men
different.
and they still different, but it's
One say he
usually
easy.
right. He say
The
he
other one is
easy,
hard to get.
and the other one is hard to get, depending on the woman. Is that what that is?
That's life.
Depending on the scenario, like the environment. Let's just say that. Because women naturally, like, look, y'all get dressed and cute and go out. Some women actually put up that hard barrier to get approached just because. I mean, just because she around her homegirls. Know damn well she won't holler at the dude or let them holler. Or it might just not be, you know, that type of environment for her at that moment. She's probably trying to wait it out for her the next best thing. You know what I'm saying? I think each one is different. That's why I
Yeah.
said it depends on the scenario. Because
If
I done been in clubs
a
and you can
nigga
see
make
a
it past
chick.
that barrier, then that's somebody that she can deal with because she can't deal with no weak man. So if they can get past that hard first barrier, being persistent, like then I maybe can fuck with him because he can put up with my attitude or put up with this and that in my mouth or something like that. So
I'm here for a sensitive man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Who
Friend
said
said
you here?
you don't want no system, man. You want that nigga to tap into it
Broken,
that's literally is
tapping,
going to bring it to your house.
saying,
You want that nigga to tap in. You don't want no system,
but
man. You
that's
want
where you tap in. You have to be able to. You
got
have to
to.
have
Gotta have both.
balance. You gotta have balance.
So
I think that
what
makes for a healthy situation if you
Yeah.
have balance. You can't be more one or than the other. You gotta be able to know when to use whatever.
Yeah, being too masculine makes it tough.
what
Like, y'all
kind of
gotta think
sensitive man
about
you want?
our side. What do you say?
Like when you say you're looking for a sensitive man, what are you talking about? Like how do you
Well, I
want
mean,
this man?
I went okay. So when we were talking about tapping into your, now I'm not looking for no man. Let's be clear. Second,
Hold up. Wait a
nobody,
minute.
nobody, just me. But I see a man who can tap into his femininity, his sensitive side. It tells me there's some, I don't know, maybe some healing there that he's taking some of that trauma out of his life. that happened when he was younger. No, you stop crying. You can't do that. You're tough. You're a big boy situation type of thing. Like, it's okay to cry. It's okay.
It's healthy.
What if it ain't? What if I mean it is right? But what if it ain't okay to cry in front of this girl because this girl gonna use that against you when she met it?
She sucks. It has
With
nothing
your
to do with
crying
you.
ass.
It has
With your
nothing
good
to do
That's
crying
with
what
you.
we're
ass.
talking about.
She's
Is not your
That's
projecting
what
person.
women
That
do.
is
her
not
shit.
your person.
That's what women
That's
do.
what I'm
She's not for
saying.
you. She's not for you,
Yeah,
sir.
but you find out
Not
when
for
do you find out when do you find out that she's not for you when that situation happened 5 years later?
Okay, so here, check
Right?
it. Use that example. What you just said. Because
With
if
your whole
everything
ass,
else
you
is
always
right,
crying with your
hold
whole
on,
ass.
Slim.
always.
Slim, hold on,
Nobody
Slim.
said always.
Hold on. So if you have a woman, you are in a relationship or marriage or whatever, and that happens, right? I think because red flags don't mean look the other way. I think red flags mean spark a conversation. So if that happens,
Right.
if you are man enough to tell her how that makes you feel, and this is the problem, a lot of men don't say how they feel. They like, nah, fuck this bitch. I ain't never gonna be vulnerable again, and just shut it down. But the
But
balance
it
that
all it
we're
takes is
talking
one. All
about,
it takes is one time.
see, well, and then you don't want to, you
It's
know,
just
you
like a
want to be
woman,
It
who
right?
you are.
sounds like
You
you don't
want
want
it, you
to
don't
put in
want
the
it,
work,
Because
right?
Slim.
You don't want
that's
it.
Could have said
You
what's
all
that?
don't
that.
want it
What's that?
because
What
if
you
you
call
don't
it?
express how
It's
it
That's
makes
giving
you feel,
emotional abuse, right? We could be married for 10 years.
let's just overuse that word for
We
me.
could be married for 10 years, and that's emotional abuse, right? It's now
Listen,
emotional.
friend, if you share when I express my feelings to you, when I become vulnerable, and you share this with your woman, when you throw it back in my face, that makes me not want to open up to you because 9 times out of 10, I am inclined to believe the woman wants you to open up to her.
Right. That's what they
They
say.
want to have that connection with you that nobody else has. They
Correct.
want that. I know I
Correct.
want that. They
Correct.
want that. So if you tell her, just like if she expresses to you, I don't like when you call me fat. Can you use another word? Can you help me work out? Can you help me go be better? You know what I mean? Because I was skinny when we met. Now I gained this weight. I want you to come and be like, babe, let's go in this gym because I want you to be back there, get your sexy back like when I met you. The same way y'all can do that and find a way to do that without hurting our feelings, then you can find a way to let her know, hey, that hurt my feelings. Like I'm trying to open up to you. Like that shit is fucked up. Like I don't like that.
Now,
I'll never open up to you again if you do that to me again. I'm
you
inclined to
just
believe that
you
that
just said
woman
something
is
that,
not gonna do it to you again.
that's
And
correct,
that one
right?
makes it worse.
That's
Hmm?
correct. Now, I said what you just said was correct. Now, what women do, and I don't know if PM can
We're
agree
gonna
or
ask
disagree with
them.
this. What women do is they want you to talk, but then you talk, right? So I'm saying some real shit. Me and you together, there's no way I'm supposed to be shitting on you because you're my girl.
Mhm.
You're an extension of me, right? So anything I say, and I try not to say nothing that's gonna hurt your feelings, but anything I say that's kind of critiquing you or criticizing anything,
Mhm.
it's always to better you. But then, not all women, but majority of women take that as you talking down on them. So I can say whatever I can, and like I said, I'm not speaking about you guys. I'm talking
Mhm.
about women that I've dealt with, obviously. Um, Saying stuff, I can say whatever. Whether I can, oh, I'm, how women talk, right? When you just had a baby, you got a little pudge or whatever. Oh, I'm so big or that. I didn't say nothing about your weight. I know you just had a baby. You look good to me. Obviously, we're still having sex and all this stuff, right? You're attracted to me. I'm able to get up and get hard and still finish with you and everything. But then they don't want to hear that. They want to hear other things. They want to hear that. I don't know what you want to hear. I don't know what you want me to do about you. You want to go to the gym? Let's go to. Oh, you trying to say I'm fat? Ain't that what you just said? That you
All
fat?
right.
So,
We want to
so
hear the same
women
things
don't.
you were
Some
saying.
women don't take criticism.
That's what we want to hear. You hear me, Slim?
What?
The same things you were saying when you met her. That's what she wants to hear.
All right. So I disagree with Ashley on this one, right?
What?
I do. So I do know a lot of women live in a fantasy land sometimes, right? That's a real thing because I talk to them and I listen to them, and they rather be told some bullshit than the actual truth.
You can take
Um,
me to the gym though.
the
Cause still
guy
think
I'm
I'm
with,
sexy.
we had a real serious conversation the other day, and my feelings was hurt within this conversation, because it was about me. When it's about him, my feelings don't get hurt, right? Because it's about him.
Correct.
But it was about me in one of those type of situations about some of my behavior that he found to be distasteful or whatever the case may be, right? And my feelings was hurt, but what I did was, and it takes time, it takes work. Like it's not going to be an overnight thing because we all
Right.
program. If our feelings hurt, that's it. We want to shut down, cry,
Right.
bitch, complain, whatever. So it takes work. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is don't stop being that way. Because once you start with the lies and the fantasy world with them, she really gonna lose herself. And
And
she gonna say, well,
I'm
you didn't
positive,
tell me. What you told me was I'm still fine.
and
No,
I'm
I tried to
positive that
tell
he
you, but
didn't.
your feelings got hurt.
Can I
I'm
repeat
positive he didn't tell you that to hurt your feelings. That's just the way you took it.
Exactly. But it's necessary, right? You those hard conversations.
But you're mature enough to move past that hurt feeling and know that he didn't try to hurt your feelings versus
And
somebody
I
else that's
know, and
not.
that's the core. Like you have to build that type of relationship with the individual. And I knew where he was coming from. It was not a bad place. I knew had good intentions behind where he came from because sometimes you don't know a person's intentions,
Right.
right? And that's why how we speak, what we say, our tone,
And
all these
if
things
you're if
matter.
you if you're saying that you're with the right person, if I'm with the right woman and I'm the right guy for you, anything I say should be nothing but good intentions. If
Right, to
that's what
build
you're saying
you up,
about
to
me,
edify
you're
you.
saying
Yeah.
I'm this good person and I'm on this platform you put me on, and that's why you're with me. Then why would you take anything that I say that's maybe
And
criticized
that's probably what you should have said to her.
another way? But once a woman, not all women, but once a woman gets upset or emotional, anything else I say, they're not listening to me anyway.
So I'm inclined to believe this, and I'm saying this because I'm a woman, and I think if you try this, I think it might work, right? Because we look for y'all for guidance, we look for y'all approval, we seek it, like we want y'all to admire us. So if you have a bitch gripe or complaint, first you start off with the compliment, right? I don't give a damn where the compliment came from because you got our attention with the compliment.
You talking about build them up, break
Yes,
them down, bring them back
yes.
up.
And then you ease in the concern, not problem,
Do
not
we have to do
complaint,
that?
but
Do we have to do that?
concern,
At what point
right?
do we stop doing that? Like, do we have to do that
I
in our
don't
whole
think you should
relationship?
ever stop doing that because if it works, why would you stop doing it if it works?
Why I gotta build? I'm upset. I'm mad right now. I'm not. I
Why
want to
you
feel. I don't
mad?
want. I don't. I'm saying in a situation. Maybe you're mad. I'm mad. I
No,
don't. I want to build
no,
you up.
you shouldn't be mad.
I'm building you up aggressively.
You
You know what?
shouldn't
You
be
look.
mad.
You know what?
No,
You look good today.
that
But that was some
masculine.
bullshit you
Come off
pulled.
of it. Come up off the
That's why he
masculinity.
got
It's
the
not
wrong people in his
necessary. It's not
inbox.
necessary. I'm not sure why you feel like that's necessary. I don't think a man should
Because
ever get mad at
every
his woman.
situation because every situation is different. You may be mad. Some
Make
situations
you
you may be
mad.
mad. Some
Now I
situations you
control
want to be
your.
cool and calm. Not
Okay,
every
first of
situation is the
all,
same.
hold on, friend. Slim, you're the only person who can control your feelings.
Correct.
Are you sure? Because you just said I made you mad. You said you made me mad.
No, I said
No,
I
he
may
said
be. I didn't say you made me mad. I said I may
made
be
me
mad. I may be
You
mad in
said
this.
I may be mad, and but you're
Yeah.
saying she made you mad.
No, I said I may be
Why
mad.
are
Maybe
you
I'm
mad
mad.
then?
I don't know. What did you do? I don't know why I'm mad.
Exactly. What did
What
you
did you
do?
do? What
So
did
the
you
so
do to
the
make me
woman
that
is
mad?
making you mad. What I'm trying to
Yeah.
tell you
What she
is
did? Yeah. What
this
she
is a
something that she obviously
surprise.
something she didn't done.
I'm about to shed some light on this. I don't give a damn what the person do. You do
Hmm.
not have to take on madness. You don't have to be mad because of it.
You
Nope.
don't
You
have
can
to.
have a whole conversation without being mad based off of what they did. You can have it in such a tone and a manner where she'd be like, "Is this nigga serious? He ain't mad? Like what?" You control you, nobody else.
Correct.
Your emotions.
But until I tap into that, because I ain't tapped into that yet. Until I tap into that side where I can
No,
control
Why
me.
you tapping
male's
in? Tapping in.
default is anger. For whatever reason, the male default is anger. That's the first thing you want to go
that's
to.
not true.
I
Not everybody.
Little band
not
around his
everybody.
thing.
You're right.
Yeah.
And whenever I speak, it's never going to be. I'm never really talking about everybody. But my experience, which is always where I speak from, sir, is the male default in my life and that I've been around has been anger, except for like a select two. Like the guy I deal with, never seen him angry, never seen him mad, which is how I know if he bringing something to me, it's surely out of concern and care.
Right.
So, but most men before him, whatever, the angry is the first emotion that they want to display because that's the default, angry. But if you tap into other emotions without calling it feminine, I promise you, you'll get further along with whatever woman you're dealing with. Just saying. You don't have to be tough all the time.
And chill
I
out, Bam
tried to end this like 20 minutes ago, but it just keeps getting juicier. I love it. My overall consensus though is I want men to understand that you don't have to be the way you was raised. Like that does not have to be your beginning, end, and end all. Like you have the power to change your mind, reprogram, operate differently. What you've been doing ain't working, is leading you in prison. Then you need to change what you've been doing so you can get different results. And that's what I'm gonna end with because we'll keep talking, and I love it. I'm glad y'all came. I appreciate my friend Ashley. I appreciate Slim. PM, you already know it's all good. Glad to have y'all, and thank y'all for chiming in and tuning in. And Janice, it's raining out there. It's hell and cats and dogs, so I'm probably not going outside. But remember, stay sucker free like Cree, and y'all have a good night.
All right.